Hey guys. Hey, so I'm driving home. I just left a quote and was pulling out of the neighborhood and I saw some pretty shoddy tree work. And I get upset a little bit every time I see it, I guess. It was a house we had worked at previously. And the gentleman that lived there has since moved. But he had crepe myrtles that were old, probably from when the house was built. I think maybe 50 years, 50 plus, 40 maybe, I don't know, but let's say like 40 years old. So very mature, completely unmolested, never been topped or anything. And so we actually got to prune them, which was awesome. And we pruned a little live oak up front too. And so the new owners has since had someone come in and hack the tops out of these crepe myrtles. And so I got frustrated, of course. I'm not going to stop and knock on their door, even though I would like to, and just ask who did the work so that I could call them and explain what they did wrong. But it made me start thinking about value in the people, in the work you get done. And I think there's a misconception that, I think those people think they probably got a great deal. Yeah, they took a lot of the tree and they were reasonable on their price, but what they did was cause nothing but problems in those trees. Once a tree's topped, even a crepe myrtle, which is a really resilient species, once they're topped, there are a lot of things that happen, and we can go into that later, but just for a short summary, it's really bad for the tree, and I've talked about this before. It introduces a lot of decay. It stresses the tree, because what you've done is completely remove the food source from the tree. Every leaf on a tree photosynthesizes and provides food. And so when you take those off, that's it. The tree has to rely on what it had stored in the roots, and depending on the time of the year, that could be be little to nothing. So I just started thinking about why people let people do stuff like that and don't educate themselves. So I feel like maybe some of it's my job to educate and to explain why a lot of times the arborist like myself is going to have a higher price, but is also going to give you the best value. And a lot of people, I think tree work is a commodity, like coffee, eggs, bread, milk, whatever. Like, the best price, as long as I can get cuts made on this tree, the best price is it. And that can't be further from the truth, because it's not, because you're dealing with a living organism that weighs a lot of times, not the crepes, but on bigger trees, that weighs thousands and thousands of pounds, and will cost an extremely high amount to have removed once it's been damaged like that. And so I could see removals maybe being more commoditized. Not really, but I could see where someone would think that. But pruning and tree care is a very, very in-depth thing, and I'm learning every day. Any other arborist would tell you that. And so I think people don't think of it that way, but if you think about anything that's good quality, it took time, right? And so time costs money. A beautiful house, a nice car, artwork, a beautiful lawn, that's pretty closely related. You can see that took time, energy, and money. So when I come in and bid higher, it's because I bid to do the job the right way, and a lot of times that takes a lot more time than doing it the wrong way. And so I hope people will consider that. And this isn't me just bashing other tree companies and saying, use me, I'm higher priced, but I'm better. But when you pay the right price for something, for us anyway, when I quote a job and you tell me, yes, let's go, I've quoted that job to do the best I possibly can from start to finish, to do what's best for your tree and your property, and if I make a mistake, to fix it, which in tree work happens sometimes, for sure. And so just consider that, and the things I have to purchase to make sure I can do the job, like insurance and good equipment and good saws and a safe harness and a helmet, those all cost a lot of money. If you haven't ever looked into what tree gear costs, it's extremely expensive. I'm wearing over $1,000 in equipment just to climb your tree, and so all just to keep me safe. That doesn't even include the saw. And so when it's done right, it's expensive, but it was just something to think about, that I think a lot of people think they're getting a lot of value out of some of their work, when in reality the person they just paid to do the job is creating a massive problem for them that they're going to again have to pay somebody to come fix in the long run, versus hiring the person that is going to do the job right the first time, and may cost a little bit more, and is going to be honest with you and let you know if something does or does not need to be done. I've walked away from a lot of quotes because I've let the homeowner know that nothing needs to be done to their tree. I'm not going to charge anyone to do work that's unnecessary. And so anyway, there's a little rant for you. I hope some of that made sense. I hope everybody's staying safe, and still using this weird time that we have, to be productive, to love on your family, your kiddos. If you can still work, be grateful. I'm super grateful that I'm still able to work right now. So anyway, love you guys. Have a good night.